Hi, I'm Mac Partial. Today I'm going to talk about a project I'm just barely starting to work on. I recently decided that I wanted to get back into cycling. I haven't raced bikes since 2023, and I've barely ridden since then. You can look at my Strava. There's the occasional little ride peppered in there. Every now and then there's a short bike ride, generally pretty easy, pretty low power. It's just not consistent or really all that interesting. So, what I'm trying to do though with this project, not only am I trying to get back into bike racing, but I'm also trying to test a theory. A lot of people have told me all about how either AI is going to replace everybody's job, how everybody's job is on the chopping block right now. Other people have told me people need to adapt their jobs to integrate AI to make the boring parts gone and focus only on the interesting parts of a job. Other people have told me the AI can't take anybody's job and just like a useless chatbot. I have no idea where the stone falls. I have no idea what's true and what's not there. I can go around reading articles. I can go play with Chat GPT and see what it can and can't do. That's one thing. But it's just me sitting around seeing if Chat GPT sounds smart enough. What I want to do though is objectively test to see if ChatGPT, almost objectively test, it's not the most objective testing, but I want to test to see if ChatGPT can or can't train me back to where I was. Obviously, I'm not going to be exactly where I was. Maybe it'll be stronger, maybe it'll be slower, but I'm wanting to see if how far ChatGPT can train me. I've got one last shot at under 23 national championships. Last time I raced it, I was just about to turn 19 back in 2023. This year I didn't race. Last year I didn't race. I've got one last shot before I have to race in elite nationals, and then I'm no longer able to race nationals because I don't qualify to go to pro road nationals. And that's the only way as an elite that I'm aware of at the moment that you can race nationals. So I'm still a Cat 2. I can go register for the under 23 national championship next year, but it's my last year to race it. So I'm going to see if ChatGPT, as my coach, can get me back to a level where I can still be competitive. For the time trials, the mark to beat is 24th place. If I can get better than 50th in the road race, that's a pretty big improvement. And if I can make it through more than 2 laps of the crit, I'll beat my best there. There's a couple other races that if time allows that I'd like to go after as well. Right now, I'm not in the position I was in 2023. I'm heavy. I don't have all the time in the world. I don't have time to train 20 hours a week. Now I'm lucky if I can get an hour a day, maybe 2 hours a day at best on the bike. I'm running 3 businesses with several other projects in the works. I work close to 100 hours a week, every week. I work 6 to 7 days a week. Basically non-stop work for me. But in an effort to see if AI really is what we're told it is, I'm going to see if I can make a comeback as a cyclist. I'm going to open source all of my data. All of it's going to be open source. Every ride I do as part of this project will be on Strava. All my post-ride reflections are going to be published. I'm making videos every single time I hop on a bike that my wife's editing and sticking on TikTok and other social media. If you go on Strava, if you want to see what my heart rate is during an interval set, go on Strava. I'm not hiding any of my data. Not my heart rate, not my power, not my speed. I'm not privating any rides. I used to hide almost all my power. I used to hide almost all my speed, almost all my heart rate. I used to frequently hide rides so that my competitors wouldn't know what I was doing. Which, open sourcing all my data may be a big competitive disadvantage, especially if I end up being a competitor by the time nationals comes around. But you know what? It's not about winning nationals or placing in nationals or any of that. To me, this project's just about seeing what AI actually is capable of. I'm not going to tell, even though I'm a cycling coach, I'm not going to tell my Chat GPT what it should or shouldn't be doing. I'm just going to follow its recommendations. I'll ask for clarification. I've given it historical data of what I've done. It knows what my schedule looks like. It understands my sleep schedule, because I only sleep 4 to 6 hours a night right now, versus back when I raced, I used to sleep 12. So, like, honestly, we just have to see. Will ChatGPT be able to coach me on the same level as a coach used to? Or will I pretty quickly find out that ChatGPT doesn't know what it's talking about and is misleading me? I hear very, very mixed things from people like Dan Martell sing all the praises in the world about how great ChatGPT is. If you go on LinkedIn, though, everybody's telling you nonstop, there's no way ChatGPT will ever take our jobs because it messed this up, it messed that up. You name it, it's messed it up. I don't know. I haven't seen any big mess ups. I also haven't been absolutely insanely blown away with a multi-million-dollar business idea. So we're just going to test it to see if it can be a cycling coach. I think cycling coaches are a pretty good representative of skilled labor. They have to have soft skills to encourage riders and listen to them. They have to be motivating. They have to focus on the individual strengths and weaknesses of a cyclist. They also have to tell riders, oh no, you actually do have to go do this ride. They have to tell them to do hard things. So it's not just soft skills, not just hard skills. ChatGPT, I think, will be good at some of the soft skills. I think truly understanding, though, as a person, stuff like recovery may be difficult for it. But it has tons and tons of access, as if like getting a degree from YouTube University. ChatGPT has tons of access to knowledge. Its knowledge base is really wide. What we have to see is how well it will periodize my training, how well it will listen to the input I give it based off of how I'm feeling. It knows roughly what some of the climbs and terrain around here looks like. I've given it kind of a brief overview. It knows my equipment. It knows what sensors I have. It knows some of the issues from previous crashes. Honestly, I just want to see what it can do. Like, I can go on all day about whether or not I think ChatGPT can do it. I just want to see it, though. The proof is going to be in the pudding. When this all wraps up, part of it is on me, part of it is luck, but a lot of it's going to come down to how much did ChatGPT help me regain. Maybe ChatGPT is a genius and will help me get stronger than I ever was before. We will see. This is only the end of week 2. Nationals isn't going to be till June or July. So, we do just have to see how big of an improvement I can make and if I can return to where I was. I think so far it's helped me a lot with some of my bike handling. So my bike handling, if anybody that's known me race, if you talk to any of them, back when I raced, I was the worst bike handler. I'd drop out of races, end up in the back because I'd get sketched out because of something random that nobody else even hardly noticed in the race. I was the least confident bike rider in the group almost every race I signed up for. So far, I've asked it for some handling drills. Stuff like, when I'm going down a hill, it told me, count 3 seconds between every time you brake. You know what? I implemented that, and pretty quickly, I got pretty good at sending it through corners without breaking through the corner. Another piece of advice it gave me, pick one corner on the descent and just make sure you're railing that corner. You can suck through the rest, just that one corner. And that helped me focus on one corner, the race line, and push myself just once. Not in every corner, just that one corner. And pretty quickly, I figured out a whole descent. It's giving me stuff like little drills when I'm just rolling along, 30 seconds on and off, holding my hand above my top tube or on my top tube. I'm not sure exactly what it does, but in my mind it seems to be helping. Could be the placebo effect, who knows. But we're just going to keep on going. I started this challenge with a sub 250 watt threshold at nearly 190 pounds. Last Sunday when I hopped on the scale, it was 175 pounds. I'm pretty sure, based off of some of my interval power, that I'm probably between 240 and 250 watts for my threshold now. When I first started the challenge, I think I was around 200 or 220 watts. I did a ramp test not long before this started. We can go back and look at that. I've kind of just been playing it a little loose when it comes to my threshold power for now. And soon we're going to do some more threshold testing. ChatGPT will direct that. Like, honestly, we're just going to go from there. I'm going to be posting after every ride kind of a brief summary of what the ride was. Just videos from the ride. There's going to be some ride recaps mixed in there. Every week I plan to make a long form video like this where I talk about a different topic. We're going to be trying to find some partners for this program. Maybe other riders that want to do the same thing. Or maybe other companies that want to come in and supply us with something to help out with the challenge. Like, honestly, we just have to see. It's a test. Chat GPT is even going to be writing the emails for the sponsorships. It's going to be building the packages and strategizing everything sponsorship related. It's also going to be acting as my agent. It's literally doing everything around this project other than I'm doing the bike riding. Otherwise, ChatGPT, I'm having to do everything that can be done electronically. So, will it work? Will it not? Let's see. We're going to put ChatGPT to the test and see if it can be my cycling coach. I'll catch you guys on the road. Bye.